Do friends and family struggle to understand your toddler? Are you the only one that can decipher their speech? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over why this might be happening and some things that you can do to start changing that today. As a pediatric speech pathologist, I've worked time and again with kids who are hard to understand. If you are concerned about their speech, please discuss that with a pediatrician because they may need a speech-language evaluation with standardized testing. But if you are waiting for an evaluation or you just want to find out more information as to why young children can be hard to understand, then stick around because I'm going to discuss some of the most common reasons as to why this is and some things that you can start today to help young children communicate better. One common reason your child may be hard to understand is due to something called articulation and/or phonological difficulties. This really is just a fancy way of saying that they have trouble producing individual sounds or sounds in words. It's basically all about the production of those sounds and how the mouth moves to make them. Your child may replace those sounds, or they may just leave them out. So for example, your toddler may not use sounds at the ends of words, or they might not be able to say an S sound. So a word like sun may sound like ton or fun, or maybe something different each time. You may know what your toddler is trying to say, but other people may not, and sometimes you might even have a hard time understanding them. Some of that is to be expected of young children, but too many errors for a young child can make communication breakdowns more common and may contribute to frustrations. A speech pathologist would be the one to diagnose this and use standardized testing to determine which sounds your child needs to work on because sound development takes time and some sounds aren't expected to develop until much older. So there might be some other reasons why your child might be hard to understand. Sometimes when children go through growth spurts, it does affect their speech. You kind of see this happening around growth spurts where they either talk really quickly or they can't really find their words, stuff like that. I don't want to get caught up in the details as to why this happens, but that is a very common reason as to why young children are hard to understand. So you have a child who's hard to understand. What can you do now? Well, the first thing you can do is discuss it with your pediatrician and maybe seek out a speech and language evaluation. That's one avenue, and it is definitely an avenue that I suggest because it will give you the most specific information for your child. But there are things that you can do today to help ease the tensions that happen with young, hard-to-understand children. The first thing that you can do is speak slower to your child and give them more time to say what they need to say. We often live in a rushed world, and that can make little ones feel rushed to speak. Try slowing down when you speak to everyone and anyone around your child in addition to your child. Modeling this is the best way to get them to slow down as well. Another great thing to do is to make them feel successful when speaking to a family member or friend. When family or friends have a hard time understanding your child, you can prompt your children in a way that gives the listener more context information. So for example, "Oh, tell Grandma how you painted that flower at the library." Doing this will make for a more successful communication than just saying, "Tell Grandma what you did today." I hope this video gives you a very brief introduction as to why children might be hard to understand. In no way is it to replace medical advice, and I do encourage you to seek out a speech therapy evaluation if you are concerned, or at least discuss it with your pediatrician. Please check out our channel if you're interested in more videos on parenting, speech, feeding, and sensory needs.